All right, so now we're going into our purple belt material. And the first set on purple belt material is punch cover kicking. Now, punch cover kicking is a little bit different than the long range kicking that you'll see in many kicking arts. Even though Hapkido is a kicking art, most of the kicking is done at medium and close range for the reason that we are going to be doing our punching, our locking, our throwing at medium and close ranges as well. So the kicking needs to match that. Now we will have some long range kicks in here, but most of it will be medium and long range, working on slight angles, so that way we can also follow up at certain points with our hands, with the throws, and with our locks. So we're starting off with our jab on the first 5. Now notice when he jabs on this side right here, I have to move my head off to this side or get back. If I move my head off this side, I'm going to be walking right into his cross. And then on the second 5, it's going to be off of his cross, and it's going to be the same principle. I want to move my head over here onto this line and off onto this angle, because if I move my head over here or stay dead center, I'm going to be walking into that jab, that hook, and all these other punches because we're staying center lined. Now this is a very important thing, especially when my foot is up in the air and I have nowhere to go. So we're starting off with number 1, and when he throws that jab at number 1, my head movement's right here, and I'm just parrying lightly right here. I'm transitioning my hip to this position, so my weight's directly over one leg or another. And so from here, I'll be dead center first, and I'm throwing this oblique kick right to the knee. Foot's at the sideways angle right here. I put it back, and from here, I'm keeping my head back, checking, because I know this other hand will be coming in, and we're throwing that side kick to the ribs. So number 1 at speed looks just like this. Ha! Ha! And make sure you always guard up. So then number 2, we're going to do almost the same thing, but instead of throwing the oblique, now we're going to go off of our front foot, and we're going to throw the side kick. We're still attacking the knee first. Now instead of a parry, we're coming off with that knife hand block. So our head is going off the line right here. Let's throw that jab. Our head is going off the line right here on that jab, and we're throwing that side kick right underneath the kneecap. Then from here, we throw that back kick, and we reset. Especially when that person's coming in and he's punching. From here, he punches that second punch, that back kick will land dead on into the liver, and that's our idea. Okay, so from here, it's 1, 2, and then always reset, because you're going to be bouncing off of that body. So then number 3 is going to be a chicken kick. So heads offline. From here, I'm throwing a chicken kick right to the groin. So it's just toes pointed, knees up, and snap underneath. Now from here, this hand comes over, and I check this hand because I want to make sure that if he tries to punch it. See how it's redirected, and so at least he'll stop it for a second. It may not be a foolproof plan, but at least he'll stop it for a second. From here is that second or half a second is all I need to chop down on his leg with my shin. So number 3 at speed looks like this. Ha! Ha! And guard. So then we're going off onto the angle on number 4. We're using a knife hand. So number 1 was a parry. Number 2 is a knife hand. Number 3 was a parry. Number 4 is going to be a knife hand. And so we're attacking the groin. So when he's throwing 1, I go offline right here, and I'm taking an angle with this step. I'm throwing straight to the groin. 1. I'm holding on to this arm. So that way, if I am going to kick high, it's hard for him to throw that punch for me. See, I'll just kind of yank down on it. So again, when we're doing that, 1, it's 1, 2. Sorry about that. And we're throwing that axe kick nice and high. It's an outward axe kick coming down to the back of the neck or to the temple. And so with this one, when you do it at speed, just kind of keep your head back. And so it looks just like this. Ha! Ha! And guard up. Okay. So then from there, number 5 is going to be an opposite kick. And what I mean by that is most people do their progressions going low to high. And what we're going to do is we're going to kick the body somewhat high towards the ribs and then immediately drop going after that knee, because we don't have to go up higher, we need to start going down lower. So we're going to take our head offline. We are throwing a knife hand or blocking with a knife hand. We're going to throw that side kick right here to the ribs, but then drop position right towards the knee, and then set. So 5 at speed looks just like this. Ha! Ha! And guard. Okay. So now, after the first 5, based off of that jab, we're going into the cross. Now the cross is a much harder punch than that jab, but that jab is dangerous because it sets that cross up. So don't discount this side. When we get to this side, also understand that power's there. And behind that cross is a hook. So we have to understand that, or a haymaker. That's a lot of power too. So when he's coming in with this cross right here, number 1, I'm going to parry and move my head offline. But notice that I'm changing position to where my shoulder is to his shoulder, my hip is to his hip, because I'm going to start hiding things. If I stay right here and I do this, that hand's right there, it's ready to go. Okay? So I'm going to start hiding the motions, and the first one is 1, it's just a side kick right to the knee, and it's using my shin right across his thigh as a guide to go right to the inside of the knee. It's not going to break the knee, but it will buckle him. Okay, that's what we're trying to get to. So when we get here, 1, 2, I'll buckle that knee. Now from this position, I'm going to do is throw my hip around, take my hand to his shoulder for a guide, and we're throwing right down to the back of his leg with our shin at the bend of the knee. And from here, you can throw punches. You do all kinds of great things from that position. So number 6 at speed, ha! Ha! Looks just like this. Okay? And now, we're going into number 7. And number 7 is going to take them off balance, put all their weight onto one leg. Once we put all their weight onto one leg, then we're going to attack it. So all we're doing is, same idea, moving our way in, but as soon as we do this block right here, this parry right here, I'm going to check here on the shoulder, I'm going to throw a knee right to his thigh. You see how it lifts his leg up, puts all of his weight onto this leg here. From this position, I'm going to chamber, side kick to the inside of the knee, and angle out. Okay. Be careful with each other when you guys are practicing these, because obviously the hard contact against those knees is not a good thing, so you have to understand you have either light contact or an inch away showing control. So number 7, ha! Ha! Right here, this one. And then always guard up, and we're just going off on that angle. Now number 8 is for pure Hapkido practitioners. And what I mean by that is a lot of times you have people that do Hapkido, but they've already done lots of Taekwondo or karate style, and so they've had a lot of kicking experience, and they can be able to kick up high. Pure Hapkido practitioners sometimes don't have that, even though I know Hapkido does have a lot of dynamic kicks. More so the focus is on the joint locks, the throws, the punching, and just getting underneath somebody's level. All of those self-defense issues take precedence over the kicks. So this one will teach somebody how much their hip flexibility and control is important. So it's not really applicable for self-defense, but at the same time, if you don't have those hips and that flexibility, then you're never going to be able to get any headshots in. So it is applicable for self-defense. So what we're doing is 1, coming off with that knife hand, stepping to the angle. I'm going to hold on to the hand. I'm going to throw round kick to the to the solar plexus here. I'm going to lift up higher. We're throwing a hook kick across, throwing a round kick to the face, and then coming back over. Okay, we call this Zorro because it's making that Z. So then, number 8, speed, ha! Ha! And it's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so then number 9, we're going to do an outward crescent kick. And what happens is, especially on 9 and 10, when that person follows in, they're going to be met with a shot. Okay, so that's what we're doing on this one. So we're going to parry right away. He's going to keep his head back. I'm going to throw it, but then notice that when you get hit, your head goes one way, your pelvis goes another way, and that's what we'll attack. So it's going to be outward crescent kick, pop, and groin shot. And make sure you keep those hands up. And then the last one is called a trap. Okay, so all we're doing is trapping him to follow us in, and so we're just going to slide backwards. So this one will be a little bit longer range, but at the end, it's not really because the person's actually chasing you in, and we're going after the back of their head or the back side of their head. So it's going to be a spin hook kick. Now he's not going to follow me in, but let's show what happens when we do that. So if I slide back here, boom, the hand's coming in. So when we do that, and same thing, he follows, and I drop right here, I have that shot coming in, and that's what we want. So all I'm doing is sliding back, parrying, and that spin hook kick slowly. It's hana, tor, and then from here, all the way through at speed, ha, ha, and guard up. And those are all 10 of the punch cover kicking, and this is for our purple belt curriculum. Make sure to practice the control, and after you've gotten this good, do it some more, because it does take not only control, but distance awareness, angle awareness, and also just the placement, the correct placement of your foot and your body alignment. If you're throwing kicks wrong, you will hurt yourself. So work on a lot of things and just do it over and over and over again. You're going to get really good at this. Thank you very much.